Hey Derp Nation, how's it going? It is I, the Derpy Smiler here, coming at you with another reaction video. We are reacting to Super Smash Bros. Melee Mistakes. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. The link to this video will be in the description below, but I'm assuming that this video is about mistakes that were found in Super Smash Bros. Melee. As the title suggests, Super Smash Bros. Melee Mistakes, and this is by Did You Know Gaming. And I love Smash, and I was like, you know what? Let's react to this. So anyway, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Melee! That's nostalgia right there. Alright, so that's the intro scene for Melee.
You know, 2 decades after its release, one of Super Smash Bros. Melee's weirdest mistakes still isn't fully understood.
Which one?
The oversight in question can be encountered on the Dreamland stage, but only if one player is either Marth or Roy. On the stage, players must wait for Wispy Woods to blink twice in the background. If any player fighting as Roy or Marth performs a jab, forward tilt, up tilt, down tilt, dash attack, or standing grab before Wispy's eyes are closed completely on the first blink, something strange can happen. Regardless of how far into their animation cycle the player is, 2 frames before Wispy's eyes close completely, Marth or Roy's attack will continue in a very slow and awkward way until the animation ends.
What the?
Lasts as long as
I didn't even know about this. What?
Will be glitched.
No one ever even talks about this.
The hitbox for the standing grab appears to extend the full distance, despite the player not lunging forward at all.
What?
The inner workings of this oversight eluded players for some time, until a Reddit user named Efson gave a possible explanation as to why this happens. Efson stated that Marth and Roy's blinking animation was somehow linked to Wispy's, with the idea being that if Marth or Roy's blinking animation synced up with Wispy's, and one character performed the aforementioned jab, tilts, or grab, the glitch would be triggered. However, due to some investigation conducted by YouTuber Awesome Sauce, this theory was debunked, and the mechanisms behind the glitch remain unknown. This isn't the only strange oversight in Melee relating to grabs. Another mistake is that Yoshi's dash grab will routinely miss its target. This is because the hitbox is misaligned on the Z-axis, appearing behind the playing field. Unlocking the camera gives a better view of what's happening. Characters with thinner hitboxes such as Marth and Zelda can avoid the grab simply by standing still, as Yoshi reaches behind them. Super Smash Bros. Melee was the second Super Smash Bros. Title produced, and had the shortest development time of any Smash game to date.
Makes sense that these mistakes would slip through the cracks because of this very short development time.
Small oversight has been exploited by some savvy players. In the game's All-Star mode, Mr. Game & Watch can heal himself in between the stages in the rest area. By spamming the Judge move, players can spawn a fruit if they're lucky enough to roll a 7, which they can use to heal themselves. As you might expect, this makes battling on higher difficulties much easier. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl and subsequent releases, the oversight was fixed. On the side, players could actually damage themselves by using moves such as Roy's Flare Blade within the rest area. This issue would be present in the series much longer than the ability to heal, and wouldn't be addressed until Smash for 3DS and Wii U, where all damage done in the rest area is negated. One more oversight relating to Mr. Game & Watch is that the character's neutral, back, and up aerials are flagged as special moves, not as aerial attacks. Due to this oversight, these moves cannot be L-cancelled, even though it should be possible to do so, just like with every other character's aerial attacks. This error was also fixed in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
That's good.
When the Japanese and North American versions of Melee does zero
thing is, I've never known about these. I like to find out the technical stuff through of Smash. I never knew about these. Nor do I really pay attention too much to the technical stuff. So when I find out stuff like this existed, I'm just like, I need to try it.
So that Bowser's down throw does damage to any character, regardless of weight. Another mistake has actually been seen by just about every single person ever to play Melee. It can be found in multiple short videos in the final game, which were recorded during development of the temple stage. 2 platforms that don't exist in the game's final build are present in the video. They even make an appearance in the game's promotional materials. By loading up the special video within Melee, players can see these mysterious beta platforms. They also show up in the short clip that plays after Luigi completes the single-player mode for a split second. But that's not the only place these platforms appear. They're even in the game's manual. Melee also features 290 trophies, and since every trophy is fairly detailed and comes with a paragraph of
except for the manual part, I never really looked at that.
Mistakes came about from the localization process, such as the Hurlerin trophy being spelled wrong in English.
Heroin. It sounds like heroin. Heroin.
Where its description erroneously states that the Great Fox debuted in Star Fox, when it actually first appeared in Star Fox 64. The correct game was listed in the Japanese version. This slip-up was also fixed in the PAL version, where it was changed to read Lilat Wars, the European name for Star Fox 64.
Oh, okay.
The North American game, the only version with this mistake.
Oh, wow.
The trophy for Meta Knight also has a factual error. The trophy says his first appearance was Kirby Superstar, but the Masked Swordsman actually first appeared in Kirby's Adventure. In addition, the name has a hyphen in between Meta and Knight, which is used to distinguish the Meta Knight army and the Meta Knight character. And if you're wondering, the Japanese game lists the correct titles and has the correct name. Naming isn't the only issue, though. His body is silver in the trophy, whereas in Kirby's Adventure and Kirby Superstar, Meta Knight's body is blue. In Melee's Japanese release, the Banzai Bill is incorrectly labeled as the Bullet Bill. Bullet Bills and Banzai Bills are different enemy types. Banzai Bills first appeared in Super Mario World and are bigger, more deadlier versions of the Bullet Bill. In the US and PAL release, the trophy name was updated, but the game origin wasn't fixed. So the trophy has
it's basically errors when it comes to what's it called? Translation errors coming into the US or to the West Coast. Their West Coast, which would be America, Canada,
and would later appear as an assist trophy in Smash for 3DS and Wii U onwards. It seems that even Nintendo had a difficult time remembering when some of their games were released. The Samus trophy in Melee erroneously states that Metroid was released in 1989, when it was released in 1986 in Japan, and the US version was released in 1987. In fact, no Metroid titles were released in 1989 at all. This error doesn't exist in the Japanese version, as there are no dates listed in that version's trophy descriptions. There's also a minor mistake in the Four Giants trophy. The first part of the description quotes Tail, one of the fairies in Majora's Mask, but uses a different translation than what was in the English game. The trophy says Swamp, Mountain, Ocean, Valley, while in the game it says Swamp, Mountain, Ocean, Canyon. It's possible that when translating the text for Melee, they didn't check what was used in Majora's Mask, and instead relied on the Japanese, thus leading to a different interpretation. Luigi's trophy erroneously states that he debuted in the arcade game Mario Brothers, but in reality, Luigi debuted in Mario Brothers for the Game & Watch, which released about 3 months before the arcade game. Outside of the shared name, both games have no relation to each other. Another mistake can be found in the description for the Master Sword, which says it first appeared in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The sword actually first appeared in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. The Daisy trophy's description incorrectly claims she appeared in Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. This error is due to a mistranslation from the Japanese game, which says Daisy appeared in Mario Open Golf. This title was released as NES Open Tournament Golf in the West, and features Daisy as Luigi's caddy. Early versions of Melee also feature an unusual error on Daisy's trophy. If the player zooms in on her hair
and sees her eye, it's her third eye.
The trophies even spread misinformation about how Melee's mechanics work. Dr. Mario's in-game trophy states, there's hardly any difference in the abilities of Mario and Dr. Mario, so choosing is largely a matter of taste. Dr. Mario is a tad slower due to his lack of exercise. However, Mario and Dr. Mario have the same in-game speed. Ganondorf, another clone, also had a curious error in the first versions of Melee. In 1.0, if the player had a bunny hood equipped, Ganondorf could perform a second jab. While this was probably a leftover from when Ganondorf was created using Captain Falcon's base, the second jab has no hitbox, so it couldn't actually damage
so it can't
the
do anything.
The jab was fixed in later versions of Melee. Ganondorf has another oversight that exists in Melee's sound test. Going to the 30th entry for Ganondorf will play the sound effect for Falcon Punch. This was probably also a leftover from when the team used the captain as Ganon's base. As players collect more trophies, they'll be able to see more of the trophy room. If the language is set to Japanese, a virtual boy can be seen next to the plant. Despite
nice little Easter egg.
In the United States, the virtual boy cannot be seen in the English version of the game. Since the Japanese language option doesn't exist in the European version of Melee, this means that European players can never hail the wonderful virtual boy in Melee. The home run contest had several errors that were addressed in and subsequent updates of Melee. In pre-PAL versions of Melee, it was possible to hit the sandbag even after it lands, allowing players to score a few extra feet if they could get to the sandbag before the score is tallied up. In the NTSC versions, the counter for how far the sandbag goes will stop updating after 9,999.9 feet. Bizarrely, despite not displaying the full distance, the game will still record the actual distance past this number and update the character's record appropriately. Another thing that isn't visible in-game can be found on the texture for Roy's sword. It actually has copyright information on it. What's interesting is that HAL Laboratory is spelled incorrectly, as HALLaboratory.inc. Roy has a number of other oddities associated with him. He can't appear in the game's single-player classic mode as a CPU character. Despite this, there's still an intro image for him within the game's files. In the intro image, official art, victory poses, and his portrait in the game's CS
Go away amongst us.
Roy has a sheath. However, the sheath does not appear during gameplay. Another mistake in Melee can make characters appear entirely black. This dark color scheme is normally only assigned to a single CPU enemy in the event match Link's Adventure to illustrate Dark Link, but this shade can be seen in multiplayer using a glitch. To see it, the game mode must be set to team battle with 4 of the same character, all on the same team. The player must then enter the name entry menu and go back a menu at the same time using 2 controllers. This will cause the game to progress to the stage select screen, letting players start a round under illegitimate conditions. These illegitimate conditions can be several things, such as the player entering a match alone, which will instantly end a stock match as the game sees no opponent has any stocks. But in our case, the game will render character 4 with a fully black overlay. This is because when 2 or more of the same character are on the same team, those same characters have to be various shades of the same color. Player 1 is unchanged, player 2 is lighter, and player 3 is darker. It was never planned by the developers to have 4 people on one team, but the game loads the next shade in the list regardless. The part of the glitch where players open the name entry menu and go back a menu at the same time is known as the name entry glitch, and it's a very versatile glitch. It can even be used to play as Master Hand. If the player picks any player for slot 1, then opens the name entry menu without choosing a character on slot 3, then performs the name entry glitch, player 3 will spawn as Master Hand, and if the player
as Master Hand, let's go. I still have to play as Master Hand in World of Light. I need to finish that so I can finally get to that. Obviously, I'm not doing World of Light on my channel, but I have been playing World of Light. I never still haven't got to that part.
About mistakes in Super Mario and Pokemon games, check out the videos on screen.
Alright, so I really love the Smash series, and I love Melee. You know, Brawl, 64, Wii U, 3DS, Ultimate. So it's nice to see that there were these things that just slipped through the cracks that we find out about now and that we can enjoy together as we watch through, and maybe even if some of them are still available, maybe try them out at some point. I haven't been able to play my GameCube in such a long time, let alone Melee. But the moment that I do, or that I can do either, I will go back to Melee and I will try some of this shit out, because I would love to see if some of it is still in the game. I know some of it got patched, like he just said, like the Ganondorf one got patched. I remember seeing Daisy's Eye, I'll be honest with you. I believe I saw Daisy's Eye when I was younger, before anybody even spoke about it. So yeah, that was this discovery that was really creepy to me. Anyway, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. If so, like it up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.